everyone, it's Morgan Yates, and today I am here with my top 5 tips for getting good grades in college. This also works for high school, or middle school, I guess. I don't know, wherever you're at, just you can tweak them to apply to your own life. I've gotten a number of requests to do something like this, and as a frequenter of the dean's list throughout the past 7 semesters, I feel like I have a few things to say. Especially as it's the new year, we're kicking off a new semester. I feel like a lot of you guys have probably made some resolutions that are school related, and maybe if one of yours is to make better grades but you don't really know where to start, I hope that this video will give you everything you need to know for making a detailed plan towards those goals. This is what's worked for me. Maybe it can work for you. If you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe. I also have a second vlog channel where I post a lot of college vlogs, and I also have a Twitter and an Instagram and a Snapchat and now a Tumblr. I don't know why, but I made it if you want to go see it. Comment below letting me know how your semester's going, what classes you're taking. So without further ado, let's go make some A's. Tip number 1. Don't procrastinate. Just from that alone, I'm sure some of you guys are writing off this video saying that, there's no new information in this, or that was obvious and you already know that. Yes, you know that you shouldn't procrastinate, but I would have you ask yourself, do you actually follow that? One of my New Year's resolutions is to not put things off, that whenever I think of something that I need to do it as soon as I think about it and not procrastinate. So yes, you know you shouldn't procrastinate, you probably still are. So I hope that including this tip is just a wake-up call to you that to stop procrastinating, all you have to do is choose to stop procrastinating. It's not just gonna go away. What you have to do is when you know you need to be doing something, to just do it in that minute. It's not that hard as soon as you realize that it's not that hard. Pertaining to school and procrastinating, you retain a lot more information when you are not feeling rushed and stressed. So if you're saving all of your work to the last minute, or if you're studying for a test the night before, you're not going to retain as much information as you would had you been doing it all along. Better quality work that is done in a non-procrastinatory form, that's not a word, equals better quality grades. Tip number 2, sleep and maximize your energy during the day. Again, 1 and 2, these are just kind of basics, and then I'm getting into more specifics. If you're not getting enough sleep at night, you're again not going to be retaining as much information. Your brain is not going to be as alert. You're not going to have the capacity to learn as much. You're going to be more easily stressed. Sleeping is better for your mental and physical health, and not only sleeping, but during the day, maximize your energy by eating healthy, working out. If you're making healthy choices, you're going to be feeling good about yourself, and you're just going to be ready to tackle the next task, school related or not. Whereas if you're just sitting around all day, and if you're eating junk food, the opposite's going to be true. You're going to be feeling really lousy, and you're not going to want to put in a lot of effort into your school related matters. Another tip for maximizing energy: while college students are notorious for being coffee addicts, my new go-to is this healthier alternative. It's an energy drink called For Purpose Energy, and it comes in a raspberry pomegranate flavor that's surprisingly way more delicious than you'd expect that any energy drink could be. This particular drink is fair trade certified, and that's not something Starbucks can say about their coffee. There is no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial colors, and no preservatives. And what I love about that company is that while you're working hard to get your education, they are donating 10 cents a can towards making education accessible for children all over the world. I love that it's a great company for a great cause, and you can shop online and they will ship them for free to you. And while again I want to stress that you need to sleep, I know that sometimes you have to pull the occasional all-nighter. So if you must go without rest, this energy drink is a much healthier alternative than pumping your body with half and half. All right, tip number 3. Now that we've got the lifestyle basics down that are going to equip you to make good grades, this tip is to take good notes. Throughout all of college, I have taken the most absurdly detailed notes on every single reading I have for homework. I swear by this. This is how I do well. When you're doing your reading for homework, it might work to skim it and retain enough for the class discussion tomorrow, but you're not going to remember that a couple months down the road when you have a test, much less 5 months later when you have your final exam. Anytime you're reading material for a class or watching a video or anything class related, you need to take notes of all of the important points. Whether that's jotting down important definitions, just anything that you did not know that you were taking out of it, write it down. I know that seems absurd, but what's more absurd is waiting until you're studying for the test and having to flip back through an entire textbook trying to pick out what's important to know for the test. At least this way you know that you can only study your notes for the exam. You really set yourself up to do better in that regard, because you know that you have every single thing important that you need to know already written down. Additionally, I forget the statistic, but a teacher told me this in 7th grade, that when you are writing something down, I don't know, it's like 40%, I don't know, some high percentage more likely to remember than if you were just reading it. And that's just because you're engaging another part of your brain with the material. Definitely make sure you are doing the reading before the class. If you have all of your notes already taken from the reading, that allows you to be so much more engaged in the discussion, listening for only the new information and writing down only the new things than let's say you hadn't done the reading and you're sitting here scrambling down every detail. And again, if nothing else, take notes so that your life is easier when it comes time to study. Tip 4, make a study schedule. So now initially it can seem really overwhelming when you realize that you have a test test in a week on 7 chapters. So rather than really stress yourself out and sort of mindlessly study, just trying to cram in all the material and not really be getting a thorough comprehensive look at any of it, what I like to do is make a study schedule breaking down what I'm going to study on each day, so that I have small manageable steps that will end in me covering all the material by the time that I need to do it. So you have a test in a week, 7 chapters, make your goal to know everything about a chapter every single day. Again, the key is don't procrastinate, because you put off one day and then you have 2 chapters you need to know in a day. To make this as easy as possible to be prepared for an exam, I would recommend starting a week early and just taking it in very small chunks. Even if you've set yourself up to only study, let's say the day before or a couple days before, still make a study schedule, make a checklist of all the chapters, all the materials that you need to go over, and just having a visual representation showing you what you've done and what you still need to do is very helpful in making sure that you've covered all of your bases going into an exam. Tip 5 is to develop relationships with your professors and seek extra help. If you're having trouble, your professors are literally paid to be there to teach you. If it's a large class, which typically I've always found that I can still access the professor, you most likely will have teaching assistants that are also there for help. At most schools like at UNC, there are free tutors available for every subject area. All you have to do is make an appointment, or sometimes actually I think they're just drop-in hours. You go and there are students there who are very skilled in the material, who are there to help you understand. I have never met a professor who is unwilling or unhappy to provide extra help, and especially if you're having a lot of trouble and your professors see that you are going the extra mile, you are really trying to do well, then even if you underperform in the end, they are probably going to be a lot more likely to be gracious to you and, you know, boost our grade a little bit. And if you're watching this thinking that you don't necessarily need extra help, that's fine. It is still worthwhile to go and meet with your professors, build a relationship with them. You'll probably find out that a lot of your professors are super cool, will be great resources. At UNC, I've learned the most outside of the classroom from a lot of teachers that become mentors for me. This is the most worthwhile and valuable thing I can recommend that you do during your time in college, is to seek out those mentors and build those relationships. Still make an effort to meet all your professors, and even if they're sucky and not cool, a little kissing up never hurt nobody. And that is it for my tips for succeeding in college. I hope that some of them gave you some new things to think about, and while some of them may seem really simple, again, you know them, but just do them, you know? That's all I got. I hope that all of you are having a great semester so far. Please comment below letting me know your tips for doing well in college, if maybe you've graduated, or maybe if you're going into college, or whatever, I don't know. Whatever is working for you that you're doing well, let me know, because I still do have 1 semester left. Actually, question of the day, because I've never asked this, I'm curious, what are all of you guys majoring in? Or if you're in high school, what are you planning to major in? Or if you've graduated, what did you major in? Just because, you know, I'm trying to get an idea of what we got out there. Please hit this video with a thumbs up and subscribe. Comment below any other video requests you have, and I will see all of you next Saturday.